Hi everyone. Good morning to you all. So yesterday happened to be a very happening day for me because I was not expecting they had declared the mains result, and fortunately or unfortunately I made it to the list. But it's actually a very uh, you know kind of mixed feeling for me because I was comparing the emotion that I felt this time to what I was feeling last time. Because last time, it was my second attempt. I received the interview call. I was like over the moon. I was going to temple, expressing my gratitude. I was overjoyed. I was calling all my friends. I was so happy. I was over the moon. But this time, like, it's been more mixed because after the debacle, after the interview last time, I got to understand that this is not everything. It's a luck that I got in. Okay, I'm happy with it, but like not so overjoyed or not so underwhelmed. It's like I mean a day as usual because I've got to understand that this exam is very unpredictable, and often it is just a matter of luck that people get in and people don't get in. I have come to understand the fact that it is never a measure of one's ability. And even more, saddening for me is that I prepared with three people. So I had like three comrades of mine. Out of that, like one was giving his fifth attempt. He managed to get in. I was like very happy for him. And compared to last time, I don't know what happened to me, but I feel like more happy, in my friends getting in. So I am able to relate more to them and take part more in their happiness and joy than actually me getting through. So, like, I don't know how that is like. All the time, I had this, character that I used to place my happiness and my like that self-centeredness always came first for me. Like, I know it is a bad thing, but somehow when this result came, like I felt more happiness in getting to know that my friend got in rather than me getting in because like I still have age on my hand and I have three more attempts too, and I know that this exam is very random and unpredictable, but my friend, he was giving his fifth attempt, so like I was praying like that he should get in because see, if people like him don't get in, it is a loss to our nation. So like him getting it very made me very happy. Like he thoroughly deserved it. And but at the same time, like a very saddening experience for me was like the third friend of mine. Like he was giving his sixth attempt, and for me he was always a role model, like the ideal candidate. I saw him like my own brother because whenever I was having a bad time, I was going to him. He was very mature. He used to comfort me and like because the nation needs such people like that in good position so that we need to develop. And he was giving his sixth attempt and six more than 6 years of his life he had devoted to it. And not just that, he was like thoroughly deserving because out of all three people, he used to write the best answers. And after my last year's failure, I wanted to understand what my mistake was. So when I, went to a mentor, a very, close sir of mine, and I asked him like what mistake I was making. He just gave me the third person's, my brother's answer sheet, and I got to know that there was a difference of a mountain and a molehill between what I was writing and what he was writing. Such was the quality as well as the nature of his answers. And I very well know that he has put in more work than me and he was more deserving than me. But unfortunately, he did not get it. Again, that makes me question the very, integrity and credibility of this exam because this, in my opinion, humbly is never a measure of one's talent or one's ability or anything. More than that, it is just a matter of luck and subjectivity. And we need to question ourselves. Do we need to measure our abilities and our capabilities through this exam? If not, is UPSC doing a right job in being the so-called watchdog of Indian meritocracy through this exam? Is it time to revisit the nature of this thing so that the lives of so many talented aspirants do not get wasted? Because yesterday night, throughout my brother's, image, his picture, it was coming to my mind. Because if we are not able to tap in the talent of such candidates, it is a loss to our nation and our humanity as a whole. And if UPSC cannot do that, are they doing their job? Like it pains me very much to ask this question because such people actually deserve to get in. If you ask anyone, in our friend circle, or like he is very famous in our community for his hard work, his dedication, and moreover his personality. And 6 attempts he has given, 6 attempts he has cleared means. But then he never, last time he reached the interview, but this time he could not clear means. I mean, yeah, I do not know what is happening. At least, see, maybe me saying that UPSC is a very speculative thing, or like is a very is not doing his job. It may be speculation. I may be completely wrong. But why is it that I am speculating? It is because UPSC is intransparent. We do not know what they are actually doing inside. And is it how an organization is supposed to work? And that also the so-called apex of Indian meritocracy? I definitely think not. We tend to glorify UPSC saying that once it takes a stand, it never, backs off from it. Is it how an organization that also one that should be accountable to the people of this country is supposed to work? I definitely do not think so. Because, see, if we look at ancient times, this was how monarchies used to work. And that should never be the way a responsible, when you take into account all this new public administration measures, etc. work, that is never the way an organization is supposed to work. So humbly, I really do not know what to say, but I do not feel anymore that, UPSC telling you you are a selected candidate. That is, I have, come to live with the fact that that is never a measure of mine or my friends or anyone close to me's ability. And I will just treat this as an exam and never anymore as a part of, you know, something or like that because this organization for like unfortunately I do not believe in it anymore but I have to write this exam because in order to achieve my dream of becoming a civil servant I do not have any other option anymore because this is the only way you can get it, otherwise you have to go for lateral hiring. Just for getting into the service I am forced to write this exam, but I I firmly believe that neither mine or my friend's capability is actually dependent on this exam. So that was a very, I don't know, very tough day for me because uh, I got in that, that is at this moment that is secondary because like see, once we tend to get in, we tend to forget what we had gone through that 2, 3 months, and we tend to believe that it is all because of our hard work and success. But if we stick to that, then it is not going to help anyone. When you look at the other side only, you feel that it is more luck and subjectivity that made you win. So I don't think it is a measure of hard work or anyone's talent. So that's there. I'm sorry if I'm being too negative, but this is unfortunately the reality. And people who may get in first attempt or something may believe that it is entirely through their hard work. Yes, maybe hard work, but there are a lot of things apart from hard work, talent and control. I mean, and talent and hard work that is outside your control, and that is the harsh reality. Because I know that my brother he was better than me, and he deserved it more, but he did not get it, and that is itself is enough to understand that everything is not very fine when it comes to Indian recruitment system, and that also at its paramount sits UPSC. And see, if they do not do it properly, how can we expect the state public service commissions to do it? Because they conduct their exams once in a while, and we all know the state of recruitment when it comes to our state public service commission. If UPSC do not take the initiative in streamlining this process, how do we expect the state commissions to do it? It all needs to start from the top. Only then it can reflect. So I hope, I mean, I believe, I know that I am nobody. Like I'm just a worm. Like I just put a crop that flex yesterday. I'm just voicing out my opinion. I'm like, I know I am nobody, but uh, the fact of the matter is just this. So I just wanted to put that across. I mean, I'm venting out my frustration. That's like I'm sorry about that, but if I don't say it now, like at least someone should say it because this discussion is often coming across, but it doesn't get part of mainstream narrative or anything, or it just gets subdued immediately, and that is not. what we want. Because see, political parties fighting among themselves, yeah, that is all news. But see, these are structural issues that need immediate addressing. Media is not bothered about it. Civil society is not bothered about it. And because of that, the future of lakhs of aspirants are going, down the drain. And that should not happen. And I feel that if at least this reaches maybe one or two people, I mean, even that is not the purpose behind me doing this thing, but yeah, that's the fact of the matter. I mean, I do not wish to take this up further. I feel that at least if I am there in some service, I will be able to do something about it because reforms in UPSC are very much needed, and time has gone completely past it. And I hope something happens because we can only hope because we do not know what is happening. We are not in the system, so. That's the fact of the matter. And before me starting my day three, I'll just update you regarding what I had done for day two. That is the 9th of December. So I started my day kind of. So I had like already mentioned that I'll be focusing more on the reasoning part. So I gave three mocks yesterday. I was planning to give one or two, but somehow I woke up early, so I managed to give three mocks and properly analyze them. And when I gave the mocks, I was understanding that with each mock my attempts were increasing. First mock I gave, I did around 15 to 16 questions. Second, it came up to 19, 20, 20, 19, 20 around that range. And in the third mock that I did, I don't know how, but in that 40 minutes time, I could do almost 29, 28 questions, and I could feel that improvement that is happening just within the span of a day. And that I found very reassuring. So that was something positive that I did. Then something that I also do at my home is that I walk a lot. I mean, I have a treadmill, so I tend to step on that and just walk, to spend my time as well as do something productive. So there I was listening to RBI strategies from a few toppers. There's a topper called Tanya Agarwal, ma'am. So she had, put across her strategy. It was very useful, especially when it comes to how to learn, general awareness for the RBI exam. I found that very helpful. So those kind of strategies, etc. And of late, I am also developing an interest in nutrition and sports medicine and all those things. So all about those things also, I did a preliminary research and listened to a few podcasts and videos like that. So that was also, I feel, a productive part of my day yesterday. And the third thing that I did was I was supposed to do finance, but CITB exam is actually close by. I hardly have like 2 weeks more left. So it was, imminent that I should start the MSME preparation. So I started with learning about the MSME. First thing I learned was the MSME Act. Then I learned about the Mudra scheme for micro enterprises and the credit guarantee fund for micro enterprises. So these were some of the few things that I covered yesterday. So I feel it was an okay average day because nighttime I could have done more, but I'm also a very huge movie buff. So a very interesting trailer of a new movie got launched. So I was like, I don't know what happened, but somehow it connected a lot to me, and I was just, watching that on loop like many, many times. Especially since yesterday was like, very overwhelming, not overwhelming in the sense like a lot of emotions came that day. Not, as you know, it's not happy, like mixture of happiness and sadness. It was very overwhelming. Then when I saw this trailer, like a lot of, I could connect to a lot of things, and I just kept watching it and again. So a lot of time actually went. I'm sorry about that. Uh, then something that I need to start focusing on again is the newspaper because when it comes to interview, the only thing that has some guarantee of providing a return is the newspaper. But yesterday also, I'm very sorry, I could not do anything when it came to the newspaper. I just opened the Indian Express app or something. Maybe 5, 10 minutes. I just glanced over the news. I didn't read anything. Again, I'm very my performance has been very disappointing when it comes to the newspaper. I plan to do something about it, and now I have to do it also. So I don't know. This is something that needs more work to be done. So that's there. And when it comes to the private sector part of my plan B, it was again a very eventful day yesterday. Uh, First thing, I was supposed to call the mentor at IMS around uh, 6 o'clock or something like that. But unfortunately, I could not do because I received a call instead from a Mumbai-based, fintech company called Turtlemint. So I had sent across my resume, my profile to them, and they seemed interested, and they scheduled an interview for me today. So it's happening around at 1 o'clock, like just 45 minutes after, maybe you seeing this video, it will be happening. So. Like I had a talk with their HR and that round went well and immediately they scheduled their next round of interviews and that is happening today at 1 p.m. So that just and again like slight positive when it comes to the employment and job search. And again, like I spent a lot of time looking on LinkedIn also, looking at prospective employment opportunities. Yeah, so that was what comes to when it comes to my career part, like the plan A paper not accomplished the public sector employment examination, yeah, like managed to do something when it comes to that. And for the private sector also, like got a new opportunity and it's like a new door has opened. Now I have like ICICI, KP Energy and Settlement. I hope I can convert at least one of them so that, things become at least more stable. So that's there. And now, when it comes to my personal part of life, again, I would say a very productive day. Like I spend almost 1.5 hours at the gym, and my dumbbell flat press. So the bench press when you do, I mean the press, the chest press when you do with the dumbbells. So I managed to improve that. I improve upon that. Usually when it comes to dumbbell chest press, I do around 40, 45 only. With trainer support, I managed to take it up to 50. I mean, he did a lot of work also. So how much of this is exactly my result and my progress, I do not really know. But I managed to lift 50, do 10 sets of it, and I feel like really positive about it and seeing some progress also. And when it comes to the incline press, again, like I did the incline bench press after a long, long time, and it's gone really well also. Around 60, I could press. Like my flat press is usually on the higher side, so if I could do 60 on the incline press, I feel that 70, maybe 75 maybe a bit far off, but 70 on the flat press seems likely now for me. But I could not do that because I went to the dumbbell flat press. So bench press, I mean 70 looks realistic after this. And then flies always has been a very good exercise for me. I mean, I have always, you know, used to do it far more compared to the others, and I've always managed to push my limits when it comes to doing flies. So I went to 50. I mean, it's almost the same, no improvement as such, but still very happy about this. And then I did the decline dumbbell press for, primarily for fat reduction. And this I did lightweight for maximum number of reps. So I went as far as 40 kgs and I did around 15 20 reps. So I focused more on the reps because I was focusing on the fat burning side of this. And lastly, I went came to the pullover around. That was my last set. I did around 20. So this is how my day yesterday went. And coming to the plan for today, yeah, I guess I have already shared the mains update with you. Now, the second part, first thing I need to focus on today is to, prepare for the 30-minute interview. I have to go across their site. I hardly have like 30 minutes left now, but still I'll do whatever I can. Around 30 minutes, I have to go over their website, I mean, look at what they're doing it, how that fits my profile, how I will be able to contribute to that organization. And, obviously they'll ask. So the first thing that the HR asked was, will you be continuing with UPSC? Again, that's an issue because, it feels like you have to lie to the HR that you're not going to do UPSC again. Because if you think from their side, how can they take you if you are interested in something else? But we also, from our side, UPSC is not giving us anything for guarantee. So we also have to look at other opportunity. And if the HR sees a kind of UPSC or something in our profile, they obviously become very suspicious. So basically, one of the greatest achievement in our life, we have to actually cover that up and not put that across in our resume. So situation is like that. It's very, very gray and very, very grim also. So very unfortunate scheme of things, but I hope something happens about it. So yeah, so the interview is there. So that's happening at 1 p.m. today. So that'll be my first agenda for the day. Before that, I need to get ready, shave, like that. Those things I've done. So I have to sit for the interview. But before that, I need to look at the company profile also. Now, the second part, when it comes to the plan B, when it comes to the public sector employment, I have to keep up the reading on MSME. I taken a course already when it comes to SIDBI, so I have to, it's part of that course only, so I have to continue learning more about MSME, the sector, because on a personal level also, it is something that very much interests me, small industries, because when you see small industries growing up, you also as a person feel very happy because if they are in a position to compete with the giants, Rag stories always make us happy. So, and it is when poor people, when they realize their potential and grow, that the Gandhian spirit of Antyodaya, that is also realized. So for me, I think MSME is a sector that's very close to my heart. So I would like to learn more about it, and the course is also very interesting. So I think it's good for me in multiple ways. And third thing, I have to continue giving reasoning mocks so that I can improve my time and performance also. So three seems a bit far off because it's already midday by now and I have not done much. So at least around 2 to 3 mocks I plan to give today. But two would be a realistic target. And then when it comes to the plan B private, I have to again call the mentor at IMS. I do not know if I'll be able to do it today. But still that's there. That's something I have not done and I plan to do at the earliest. And lastly, now there's no escape because I have to start reading the paper. I also know it's important, but I don't know, somehow I feel very exhausted and sick because even during the time of mains, I used to read the paper every day. Like I really liked it, but I don't know now, somehow a lot of emotions are coming when I start doing anything that has something to do with UPSC. So that brain fog or some, I don't know how to explain it, but I have to get over that. So some kind of a very, mental struggle is there. But I hope I'll get over it. I don't know what to do also. I would be happy if like someone, can suggest a very sustainable plan to get over this because it's completely my mental block that I need to get over so that, I can at least give some good effort for UPSC because my plan is still to give best of my efforts to securing a plan B and only then go for preparing for the interviews. I do not know if that is the correct strategy, but realistically, that seems more, uh, you know, uh, plausible for me also because, we do not know how this thing is actually working. So that confusion is also there. So yeah, that's there. So paper I know I need to read. So that's also there. And lastly, uh, apart from the I mean, two fronts that I've told you earlier, some of the other fronts who unfortunately were not writing mains this time, they also helped me a lot. So I had to call them, like one of my very close friends. So she just went to a different state and she just came back. So I had to call and catch up. So that's there. And when it comes to the workout and all those plans. I'll be doing back today. Uh, Last week I stretched my lat pulls to 50. It was the first time I was doing, but I could not complete it in a proper set, and I could not do 15 because how I structure my workout is that if I can do a weight comfortably for more than 15 reps, then I go to the next weight. That's how I usually do. So 50, I could hardly do it 8 to 10, but I need to at least pull it up to 15 or start moving into 55. So 50 is where I'm stuck at right now, and I hope I can improve, but I'm not very sure because it usually takes more than a week to, overload. So it's called progressive overloading. And the second part is the T-bar. T-bar is again a very good exercise for the lower back, mid back, all those regions. So I've been stuck at 32.5. 32.5 also I mean improvement from week before last. So then I was doing around 30, but now 32.5 seems comfortable. I'll do one proper set of 32.5, and if that seems within my hold, then I'll overload. Otherwise, I'll stick to 32.5. Now, row, I've been stuck at 50 kgs for almost 1 week now, 2 weeks almost. So I plan to try 55. I don't know how it will go, but we'll see. So that's there. And the king of everything, doing lot of pull-ups, because it's the absolute monster when it comes to back. Like I've been able to see a lot of progress by working just on my pull-ups when it comes to my back, because my back is comparatively lesser developed when it comes to my chest and even my legs. So I've been working a lot on when it comes to developing my back area. So yeah, I hope all these things will get things right for me. So that's all the updates I wanted to share. I'll share the progress. I'll be sharing the progress tomorrow, and that's all from my side. Thank you and have a nice day.